countdown to 25 days of Christmas is on. Yes! And the biggest adventure. Countdown to 25 days of Christmas.
Alright guys, what's up? So, it's Thanksgiving, a time of home, family, and just downright good food and all that stuff. And something came about while I was preparing some food, and yes, I actually do cook some. Something came about where I thought about it, and I realized that there wasn't a lot of Thanksgiving programming on television or movies or all that. Haven't you noticed that Thanksgiving kind of gets petered over with Christmas and Halloween? It's just like Thanksgiving's like a little thing here, and it's like the giant mammoths of Halloween and Christmas are just all over it. Just over it, man. Doesn't really get its proper due. So I decided to watch every Thanksgiving thing there was out there. I had to go on Wikipedia and look up each and every special and movie that there was out there that had something to do with Thanksgiving. And truth be told, there's not a whole lot. So, and a lot of it's crap. Like, for instance, an old-fashioned Thanksgiving from the Hallmark Channel, that's just crap, man. I mean, dang. I couldn't even watch half of it. I could barely get through half of it before getting up and just being like, no, I can't do it anymore. So, I thought about it, and you know what? I'm going to give you the top 19 specials and movies that have to do with Thanksgiving. Even if there's a little bit of Thanksgiving here in it, it's in this list. Why is it top 20? Because, bro, listen, I'm trying here. There's a lot of crap that I had to sift through to find at least a little bit of a gold nugget. So here we go. The top 19 greatest Thanksgiving specials. Let's start with number 19. Number 19, Plymouth Adventure. This is the stereotypical kind of pilgrim's story, if you will. It's like an old 1950s movie. I think it was made in 51, 52. And it's pretty much a reenactment of the pilgrims. The story that you know. The pilgrims coming over to Plymouth Rock, suffering for a winter, and then the Indians coming in, helping them, and then them getting together for Thanksgiving. Why is it so low on the list? Because it's not really truthful. There's a lot of lies throughout this movie, and there's a lot of racism, especially toward the Indians. I would think that there would at least be some niceness toward the Indians, but they're like brushed off. They're like stereotypical Indian accents, like, how we plant here. You get fish, put fish on top of corn, you know? And honestly, rewatching it, you know how this story's gonna unfold. There's no surprise to it. So it's very, very long and very, very boring. It's like an hour and a half, and it should have been half an hour. So yeah, that's why it's so low on the list, because yeah, it's not that fantastic. It's not that great of a movie, especially with the low production value this movie entails. I will say this though, if there was a movie that told the stereotypical story of the Indians and the Pilgrims, this would be your movie. If you got, like, you know, I don't know, like a 3-year-old in the house and you want to teach them the story of Thanksgiving, but you don't really want to tell them, then hey, this movie's good for you. But if you're a stand-up person, you probably won't like this movie because there's a lot of racism. Number 18. Thanksgiving. A horror movie. Yeah. Why did I put this above Pilgrim's Adventure or whatever? Because A, it's a lot more well known than Plymouth Adventure. B, there's a lot less racism, I would say. And 3, there's a lot more, it's a lot less boring, I guess. So yeah, normally I don't like horror movies, really. If there was one genre that I couldn't get behind, it's horror, because I don't like to be scared. I'm sorry. Being scared is not my forte. And I honestly didn't like this movie either. It's like a very, very low budget type movie with a killer turkey. Yeah. And unfortunately they had, like every horror franchise, I guess, especially back in this time, they had sequels. And I was not going to watch the sequels. I'm sorry. I can't. The first movie was crap, okay? Honestly, this movie is terrible. I would suggest you go see it. If you're a hardcore horror film lover and you don't mind the crappy horror cliches or whatever, then I suggest it's right for you. I mean, I won't watch it again, really. Yeah. But if you're a hardcore horror fan, I suggest you watch it. It's like a Thanksgiving special for horror fans. There you go. I mean, I'd rather watch Trick or Treat. That's like a Halloween special horror movie. Number 17. Miracle on 34th Street. Why is this movie on the list? It's supposed to be a Christmas movie. Why is this on the Thanksgiving list? I think it's like the first act, I guess. And it's not the crappy new one though. No, it's the original. The original Miracle on 34th Street with the Macys Thanksgiving Parade. Why is it in the list? Because it has Macys Thanksgiving Parade in it. It takes the big part of the movie gets rolling because of Thanksgiving. The whole reason for this movie's existence, the whole reason why this movie could even exist, really, is because Santa was walking along through the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade, saw the drunk Santa, and was like, oh, hell no. No. Get out of here. I'm gonna be Santa. And he rode off in the Santa Thanksgiving Day Parade. Macys, that's why Macys hired this guy to be Santa. It's the whole reason. But that's also why it's so low on the list, because it's technically a Christmas movie, and most of it takes place during Christmas. But I had to put it into consideration that it is a Christmas movie, and I had to bring it lower. So yeah, but honestly, check this out. This is a great movie. Fantastic movie. I watch it every year on Thanksgiving because it's Thanksgiving. It's a mixture, Thanksgiving and Christmas movie. It's the same thing, All right, number 16. Tom, Turk, and Dad Fit. This is a Looney Tunes short. Why am I going to Looney Tunes? Because, hey man, I'm scratching the bottom of the barrel with this, man. There's hardly anything out there. Classic slapstick, classic Looney Tunes slapstick. Is it one of the better shorts? I would say not, but it's classic Looney Tunes, man. Number 15, Addams Family Values. Why is this movie on the list? Because really no one really enjoyed this movie over the original Addams Family movie. Honestly, this movie I like better than the first one because there's a more emphasis on the family. There's more emphasis on how loving the family is. We certainly got that in the first one, but this one, you kind of see a lot more of the kookiness, you know? You see a lot more of the family dynamic, I suppose. You see a lot more of the love and graciousness that this movie, you know, that the Addams family does have. And it mostly takes place through Thanksgiving, you know? Yeah, this is the one with, I forget her name, but she's Jessie from Toy Story 2. Oh, man, but I forget her name, I'm sorry. But she comes in, she tries to get Fester, you know, to give her all the money, try to inherit that. And it all takes place in Thanksgiving. That's pretty much the toned down, I guess, synopsis of it. It's like the most simple synopsis there is, because there's a lot of stuff, each with the characters, you know, which would probably be a lot better if it was a TV show and not a movie. But originally it was a TV show, so you gotta take that in consideration as well. So yeah, I enjoyed this movie. Number 14, Squanto, A Warrior's Tale. This is a Disney live-action movie in the 90s. Need I say more? But seriously though, this movie's actually not that bad. Not as bad as Pilgrim's Adventure, man. I mean, this is a little bit more in-depth into Squanto the man, I guess. Not necessarily toward the Pilgrims. We're focused on Squanto. It's a biography based on this one Indian guy who went over to the Pilgrims to help them to survive. And honestly, I gotta say, this is not that bad either. I mean, yeah, this is a pretty great movie. I mean, I would probably watch this every year, honestly. Is it completely focused on Thanksgiving? No. It's mostly focused on this one character. But then it comes toward Thanksgiving, and you get to see a lot more of Squanto. Why is he here? What's the point of him? All the backstory of Squanto is shown in this movie, plus a little bit of, I guess, some creative differences, I guess, which is may throw off some people. I recommend checking it out. It's not that bad. Yeah. Number 13, Free Birds. Oh boy. I think this is from the same people who did Norm of the North. If any of you heard of that movie, if you didn't, then you do have a life, and I thank you for that. But if you don't, and you do know what Norm of the North is, yeah. What's the story? It's about this wimpy chicken, or wimpy turkey, my bad, played by Owen Wilson, and this tough, manly or turkey. Why do I keep on saying chicken? I don't even know. But they go in a time machine in like a secret laboratory, and they go back toward the first Thanksgiving. And this is back when Owen Wilson, and before all that, Owen Wilson was like the turkey that was supposed to be pardoned by the president, so he would live through Thanksgiving. At the center of it, it is Thanksgiving. You gotta take that in consideration. And believe it or not, there were a few laughs in this movie. I laughed quite a bit, more or less. I might have been in a stupid mood, but it wasn't that bad, I thought. I mean, Owen Wilson, he kind of played the turkey kind of well, I guess. It was a classic story of, yeah, the big manly turkey's got it all, but he kind of doesn't have it all. Owen Wilson's trying to get it all, but secretly deep down he does have it all. You know, it's kind of like that story. And it's all taking place around the time of Thanksgiving, and there's time travel in it, and it's just so balls to the wall crazy that you've got to respect it for that, man. I mean, is there anything particularly mind-blowingly awesome in this thing? No. not really. But is this something that the warm feels? Then yeah, it would probably give you the warm feels. So yeah, there you go. Free birds. Number 12. Rocky. Yeah. Why is this up so high? Because, man, Rocky's the best. Thanksgiving night. It's the night when Rocky and Adrian goes, you know, figure skating. That on their first date, you know? And yeah, you gotta give it props for that. Thanksgiving's kind of in this movie. It's not primarily in this movie, but yeah, man, that's kind of all Thanksgiving's kind of what you need, you know? They don't have family. Rocky doesn't have a family. Adrian has her brother, Paulie, you know? They're all by themselves. But Rocky took Adrian out on a date on Thanksgiving, so technically they are family. They're better than family. They love each other. It does add a lot if you actually if you're critiquing the movie and you're thinking about it, you're kind of putting the pieces together, it kind of works. And if you don't have Thanksgiving in there, it kind of lessens it a little bit. So yeah, there you go. That's why Rocky's on the top 19 Thanksgiving movies. Number 11, SpiderMan. I mean, personally, I enjoy SpiderMan. And yeah, SpiderMan's a great movie. The original 2002 version with Tobey Maguire. What does it have to do with Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving is primarily in this movie. It's kind of a basis in this movie where the Osborns, Mary Jane, Aunt May, and Peter Parker are actually gathered together on Thanksgiving, you know? And there's a lot of subtext to it. There's a lot of... Without Thanksgiving, Spider-Man wouldn't be able to fight the Green Goblin for the first time and meet each other, you know? Without Thanksgiving, you wouldn't see this... Mary Jane and Harry would still be dating. That's what Mary Jane... After the dinner thing, that's when Mary Jane was like, you know what? Probably shouldn't be dating Harry because he doesn't really support me. And it's also during that point where the father is like... Harry's like to the father, yeah, my dad is, dad's acting pretty weird, you know? So this is a moment where it's like the family that Peter has with his friends and his aunt kind of falling apart, which is kind of an opposite of what you think of Thanksgiving as. So yeah, that's why Spider-Man's on this list. Number 10, You've Got Mail. Barely has anything to do with Thanksgiving. It doesn't really have anything to do with Thanksgiving at all. The plot points, the plot doesn't really isn't a big emphasis on Thanksgiving. And yeah, I'll have to agree with you there. There is some subtle Thanksgiving-ism in there. It's mostly about Christmas. It mostly takes place during Christmas and not Thanksgiving. But yeah, man, I don't know, it's just, it warms my heart, you know? Thanksgiving, it's kind of, You've Got Mail just kind of warms my heart. I don't know why I love this movie so much, but it warms my heart every time. Yeah, isn't that what Thanksgiving's all about? Kind of warming the heart with all your friends and family. Number 9, Saints and Strangers. This is a movie. Special on National Geographic based on the Pilgrims and the Indians, the real story. This is actually Thanksgiving, okay? This is the whole Thanksgiving story right here, alright? There you go. We finally got back to the actual Thanksgiving type stuff. With Thanksgiving, you gotta have it like for the family. And with this movie, or special, it's TV-14, so there's kind of some stuff in it. This ain't your typical, like, oh hey, I'm a pilgrim, I got a buckle belt on my hat. Oh look, here's the pilgrims, let's share a feast. No. No. It is not like that. People are freaking dying in front of your face, son. Oh, no. They aren't just saying that. They are freaking showing you them freezing to death. You are freaking seeing them getting sick, them throwing up, them dying right in front of your eyes, man. And then all of a sudden the Indians come in and they're like, hey, maybe there'll be I'll tell you what, because of this special, I finally realized why the Indians helped the Pilgrims. They weren't just being gracious hosts. They were trying to get allies to help them fight their enemies. That's the whole reason why they helped the Pilgrims. They weren't being gracious hosts. The Pilgrims didn't even invite them to the feast. They didn't even invite them to Thanksgiving. He just happened to wander in and it's like, oh, hey, you're having a feast. Can we join you? And they're like, all right, yeah, whatever. That's some truth right there. That's actually like, hey, this makes sense. Holy crap. My mind was literally blown. My mind was blown when I saw this thing. Wow. Whoa. I mean, dang. Normally, I would probably switch this with 8, kind of, maybe. But, yeah. I'll tell you the reason why I picked number 8 and why I picked number 9, but anyway, there you go, Season Strangers. I highly recommend this special, man. I mean, if you're of age and your parents don't really mind you learning the real Thanksgiving story and seeing people die on screen, then yeah, go at it, bro. Go at it now. This thing's great. Alright, number 8. The Blind Side. Why did I choose this over Saints and Strangers? Because of one thing. It's family friendly. And I know what you're saying. Well, Saints and Strangers is more focused on the Thanksgiving, and The Blind Side barely has any Thanksgiving in there. I don't really remember any Thanksgiving in there. Again, it's family friendly. Anyone can watch it. There's just this one scene when they're kind of like getting the two, like the couple or whatever, the mom and the dad, are starting to have sex. I think that's maybe the reason why it got a PG-13 rating. And also the fact that Michael was like, whatever, his mom's old apartment building, and there's like drugs and whatever, and he's like punching everybody. Craziness. I would think that's the only reason why it's PG-13. If it wasn't that, it was probably PG, you know? Anyone can watch this. The kids can watch it, okay? So yeah, it's family friendly. Second, it's family oriented. It's solely based on this family, you know? Because of the graciousness of Thanksgiving, Michael Orr came in with the family. Because of Thanksgiving, you saw that Michael brought the family together. Thanksgiving is more relevant in this movie than Rocky, especially with You've Got Mail. Even with SpiderMan, you know? With Miracle on 34th Street. All the other movies that have Thanksgiving elements in them, Thanksgiving helps to progress the movie along. This one, Thanksgiving is prominent in this movie. You don't have to be like, well, yeah, we might as well put Thanksgiving in there just to give like a little edge, you know, have the pieces together. No, the Thanksgiving is in this movie, you know, even though it's not mentioned throughout the movie, and it takes place over a few years. Because of Thanksgiving, we wouldn't have this movie. Thanksgiving is primarily ingrained in this movie. So yeah, that's the reason why this movie is over Saints and Strangers. Barely, Barely. But that's the reason why. So, number 7, A Garfield Thanksgiving. The whole focus of the movie is Garfield is taken to the vet. John likes Liz, the veterinarian. He invites her over to Thanksgiving to spend it with his family, I guess, Odie and Garfield. He cooks the meal. Craziness ensues and all that. Blah, 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 blah. It shows quite a lot about what everyone has to go through during Thanksgiving, you know, the craziness with the family, cooking the food, having someone else cover up your messes, you know. It's ingrained with Thanksgiving. And Garfield is a fat cat. He eats all the time. So it makes sense for him to have a Thanksgiving special. So, yeah, there you go. Paul Blart Mall Cop. Now, this movie doesn't really take place primarily on Thanksgiving. It kind of takes place mostly on Black Friday. And there's a little element of Thanksgiving in there. But yeah, Thanksgiving has become kind of a shopping holiday now. Not even with Black Friday. There's been deals that have kind of pushed onward from Black Friday into Thanksgiving. Now Thanksgiving is like one of the primary shopping dates, you know? People go out to Walmart, people go out to shopping stores all over the place just to get that deal, you know? And there's deals on Thanksgiving, which is crazy because it's Thanksgiving. You're supposed to be home with your family, but you have to work on Thanksgiving. But yeah, Paul Blart kind of showcases that a little bit. Black Friday's crazy. Is it Die Hard in a mall with a fat Kevin James? Yes. Okay. People have said that before, and I don't care. I love Paul Blart Mall Cop. This is a great, fun, funny movie. And again, primarily what the thing is family. His family gets him through it. His daughter especially, you know? He wants to date that incredibly hot strawberry blonde chick that dyes her hair red for some reason. Thanksgiving's kind of a holiday that is based on shopping now. Black Friday's right after that. Crazy people ensue. So, yeah, there you go. Paul Blart Mall Cop. Number 5, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, directed by Wes Anderson and starring George Clooney as a stop-motion fox. Honestly, man, this is more entranced with Thanksgiving than a lot of the other one. The fox having to steal the farmer's vegetables and fruit and whatnot to have a good Thanksgiving, you know? And, yeah. If you don't think that this movie is based on Thanksgiving, I dare you to take a look at one frame of this movie, and it doesn't entrance you in Thanksgiving feels. It's all entranced in, like, reds and golds and yellows and oranges and all that. The color palette's there. The kind of craziness embedded in the holiday is there. The whole family-oriented type thing is there, you know? It's a great movie, great Thanksgiving movie, and I highly recommend it. Okay, so, number 4, Thanksgiving Day football. Why is it so low? Because it's kind of a special, and it's kind of like, you have football every other Sunday. You can watch it every other Sunday. I don't really know the details of Thanksgiving Day football, honestly, because I'm not really I'm sorry, okay, I'm not a football fan, you know, I'm not entranced in football. So, I mean, honestly, the only times I watch football every year, really, is on Thanksgiving and is on the Super Bowl, really. That's the only 2 times I'd watch it. prolifically. Thanksgiving Day football. Honestly, it's a tradition. It's been a tradition for decades, and it will probably continue to be a tradition. So, yeah, there you go. Thanksgiving Day football. Number 3, Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade on NBC. Not that CBS crap that's like, yeah, we've got it. Yeah, man, we got it. We got the parade stuff first, but they don't stop and do whatever we want them to do. We gotta fill it in with our filler crap. No filler crap. We have NBC, them in front of the Macy's store, musicals or whatever, to showcase their one song beforehand. You want that done? Hey, you got it there. You want people to sing? You want people to sing on their floats? People sing on their floats. They don't just drive by, you know? That's what I don't like about CBS. Is the CBS parade, it's really, really dull. It's full with filler, man. It's filled with filler. I mean, it pales in comparison to the NBC one. So, yeah, if you watch it, I suggest going on NBC. Don't go to CBS. That's a waste. Go to CBS when it has Thanksgiving Day football. Okay, that's kind of the only thing. After that, after the Macys Parade, NBC has like the dog show, National Dog Show. I mean, unless you're a dog lover and you're not a football lover, go watch that, I guess. But turn on NBC, watch the parade, and then after that, watch the football. And there you go. So yeah, Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade. I love the balloons. I love the floats, man. The Muppets are ingrained in there now. I think every year they've done something. They've introduced the parade to us, like, for many, many years now. I think maybe like 5 to 10 years probably. They've introduced every parade, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. Number 2, a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Except for the parading, except for football. This is like the number 3rd thing people watch every Thanksgiving. So yeah, take it with what you will. And if you don't know what the summary is, Charlie Brown inadvertently invites Peppermint Patty, Marcy, and Franklin over for Thanksgiving, and he's got to cook a Thanksgiving dinner, even though he can't cook, and he's not allowed to. He can only toast the toast, pop the popcorn, and jelly beans, and all that. Snoopy helps out too, you know. It's like the classic fight with the chair, you know, that's funny. Snoopy dressed up like a pilgrim for some reason, and yeah, there you go. That's entranced in Thanksgiving as well. The Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, that is the one you have to watch every year. It's great, man. It's great. Won't let you down. I highly recommend it. And finally, number 1. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, the John Hughes classic. And this is a movie that's fully entranced in Thanksgiving, okay? It's about Steve Martin and John Candy trying to get home because they gotta get home before Thanksgiving. And he's apparently racing this guy and trying to get home before Thanksgiving so he can be with his family. I don't know, I think he's in New York and he's gotta drive. You gotta try to get to Chicago, I guess. I think that's where they're going. I don't know. I mean, honestly, the whole thing is just filled with jokes, you know. And why is it so high, even though it's rated R? And even though it's rated R, and I specifically remember saying about Saints and Strangers, why is that so low? Because it's not family oriented. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is rated R. Why is this so high? Because the reason why it's rated R is because of this one scene where Steve Martin just says the F word like 15 times. And honestly, you can cut that part out and the rest of the movie would still flow pretty good. The movie would still be nice. You wouldn't miss anything. He just says the F word 15 times for kind of not really that much of a reason, except to show that he is kind of just so out of it. He just can't deal with anything anymore. He just says the F word 15 times. So yeah, cut that out. It's a PG movie. Your kids can watch it and they won't have nightmares, and they won't be spoiled, they're corrupted in their minds, you know. So yeah, cut that scene out, and there you go. With Saints and Strangers, it's fully entranced in TV 14dom with killing and freezing and all that. And if you were to cut those out, it wouldn't flow that great. It wouldn't be as great as it is with the stuff in there. With Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, just cut that scene out. You'll be good. Also with this movie, great comedy. John Hughes at his finest, okay? Before Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but I think it was after The Breakfast Club. Honestly, it's great directing, great writing, okay? And yeah, it's filled with Thanksgiving, you know? You got the fat guy who eats too much turkey, and you got the skinny guy who worries about what's going to happen after Thanksgiving. You know? Yeah, there you go. Great movie. It's a great movie. I watch it every year on Thanksgiving. I have to cut out that scene in order to watch it with my family, but, you know, other than that, hey, there you go. Great movie. Alright, guys. Hey, have a happy Thanksgiving. Canadians, I know you have it in October. Whatever. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy late Thanksgiving, I guess. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Hey, make sure you watch that football, eat that food, and all that stuff. Hopefully I'll do more Christmas special reviews coming up over the course of until Christmas. Be more prolific in that. I kind of slacked off on the Disney shorts, I'm sorry. So yeah, hopefully I'll get those Christmas things rolling up, and hey, subscribe to the channel. Check out other stuff. Hey, I'm pumping this out, man. Pumping it out. Let's get it rolling.